Chinese Americans in Southern California are stepping up in a big way in the fight against coronavirus. The San Diego-based America-China Culture and Education Foundation has raised more than $300,000 since the outbreak began.
Hi, my name is Jing Kai. I'm a current board member of ACCEF, American Chinese Culture and Education Foundation. Since the COVID-19 outbreak started in China, in Wuhan, we have done a few rounds of fundraising to help the hospitals in Hubei province. However, once the COVID-19 cases increased in the US, we switched our gear to support local hospitals and medical organizations across the states.
Initially, it was just collecting what people have at home they're willing to donate. You have different families, there's so many of them donating all different kinds of materials. Our job is to manage and tell people where to drop off, right? So we have addresses, phone numbers, and how to drop out, what is working hours. So we were giving them all the information. We know people, right? So relatives, friends who work in the hospital, and we start giving to them for their personal use, so to cover themselves. And their coworkers realize, there's such an organization doing this, so they're starting wanting the material. So we have doctors in UCSD, Kaiser, everywhere, all the hospitals you can name off in San Diego. And I think we slowly become a little famous that there's such a group.
We are lucky in that sense is because we had this experience to help the hospitals in Hubei province. Based on this experience, we had the knowledge of what are the devices or what are the things most needed by the hospital, by the health workers. We have this experience and the knowledge, so we just utilize them to help the community. We have donated to many medical organizations and community centers, but one of the most interesting places we donated is to JFK Airport. One donor, she has a sister live in New York City. Her sister says, "Hey, you know what? Actually, I work for JFK because JFK is considered as an essential workplace." But she said, "Oh, there are so many essential workers, they don't even have masks. Although we would like to get, but it was so hard to get just masks. Does your organization happen to have the ones that can be used by those essential workers?" We have this Chinese medical grade surgical mask. They are certified in China. However, those brands didn't carry the English packaging. They were donated by our partners in China who helped us to do the donation during the Wuhan period. That organization donated 10,000 surgical masks to us. Those masks are used by their hospitals. So it is medical grade masks, but just because the packages don't carry the English names, so we just don't feel it's good to give to the medical organizations in the US. But however, the JFK, case came with it. We gave the package, the picture of the package to the JFK, saying, "Hey," and explained what it is. We told them this is medical grade surgical masks. They are used by the Chinese doctors in China. We asked, "Do you feel comfortable to give it to your essential workers?" We very transparent, give the pictures back and the front and show how it is and tell them the whole story. And the JFK came back and said, "Hey, this is something we would like to have, and thank you for telling me all. So when we distribute the mask, we can also let them know what's the story behind it." To our surprise, when JFK received our donation, they had that big banner. And on that big banner, it said they thank ACCEF as something inspiring as well. Because when we receive the thank you letters or thank you notes or the pictures, our donors and the supporters know, hey, ACCEF delivers. They have grown deeper trust on our organization.
This experience helped me and made me want to involve more in the community. I think when things go back to normal, I always want to volunteer. I think I will try to do more of that.
My name is Jimmy Muren. I'm a senior at Valhalla High School. That's in El Cajon. This project that we did for the COVID-19 face shield project, it was associated with our robotics team.
The Clueless FTC is a nationally ranked robotics team, and we usually build, big 18 by 18 metal robots and program them and have them compete in competitions where they can do a variety of tasks.
So around April was when our World Championship was actually supposed to be held, and that is when we got news that it was canceled around mid-March. At the end of March, we started coming up with this idea because we found a design online to print these face shields, and at the time hospitals were in very high demand. There wasn't a whole lot of resources available, and most of our team members either have 3D printers or have experienced 3D printing, and this was something that we could see that could really help out in the current situation, and also a way to repurpose our resources that we normally use on robotics for something else. This was one of our ways to continue working together in using engineering for the betterment of the world. What started as like a small 350 face shield, $500 project locally turned into a national, right? Over 3,000 face shields delivered and close to $5,000.
For us, we really felt a duty to help other people when there was a need, because especially in the beginning, this was before the big companies like 3M and Apple could mass manufacture enough PPE for everybody. And if we had the 3D printers and we had the skills and the abilities and we were able to raise the money, it was just a moral obligation that we had to do something to help. I was also just really inspired by the healthcare workers themselves. I remember we received a message from Instagram because after we started being a little bit more well-known, people just started direct messaging us. This one nurse was like, yeah, I'll come pick it up after my shift is over at 7:30 in the morning, which is crazy. So that was also a great takeaway, just to see how positive, first of all, and also hardworking everybody was.
It was really an amazing experience to see the response, and also a huge team effort by the Clueless. I think this project has been a huge positive impact on us because one, kind of took away from the disappointment of not being able to go compete at that championship, and also it kind of brought everyone together to really work hard on a common goal, which is what robotics was for us.
During this pandemic, I see Chinese Americans are uniting together to fight together, not just fight the virus itself, but also fight the bias towards us. I'm so happy to see a lot of organizations in San Diego. We do the donation work together. We support each other. I see so many Chinese Americans unified together for a noble cause.
As Asian American, we do want to have an impact to the society that know our existence and engage in the community and make contribution, because this is our home, this is our country.
I mean, the Asian community is just so diverse, and you can't pin the blame on one community. Generalization is really, really harmful, right, to the relations we have socially. You can't generalize based on a certain sector of an ethnicity that everyone is the exact same way. So yeah, I feel like it's very unfair that, you know, the Asian community has to face this sort of backlash for something that really isn't in their control.
There's a lot of discrimination, there's some unfair cases, but this is our world too. So we want to make an impact and get our voice heard, as well as making contribution.